Yeah, guys, what's up? Welcome back. Yeah, I actually made a mistake yesterday. I was like thinking, like, yeah, the Master League supposed to start already, like, and I was like there sitting, watching my phone, and it's like I have to wait for another like 23 hours. Yeah, I'm so disappointed with myself with how I am actually unable to read dates. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, today we're gonna continue talking about a team that you can explore in the current Master League, and today is gonna be, one of the best tag in the game, if not the best tag in the game, and that's gonna be the yes, you're right. It's gonna be what yeah, one shot kill. Okay, so one shot killer primarily gonna use either Lakas Klein or Tifa Adil as their main support, and either one is actually good enough. Just that Tifa doesn't have a heal, while Lakas has a starting at 30%, right? So that's the difference. So Lakas has 30% starting buff. A lot of people actually go try to use their, their PvP points to actually get limit break for Lakas, especially Lakas, because again, one shot killer is such a good tag. It's encompass a lot of units, and to be honest, it is. Even in UC or non-UC series, they still have a lot of units that can be catered into that tag. So, first of all, let's gonna go with I think the main unit we can go play around, and that's gonna be, I do think, the best guy coming from the toughest, no, one shot killer tag is gonna be Sazabi. Okay, so Sazabi is, I do think, still the best standard banner character. Sazabi and Charles is simply amazing. Yeah, you might actually want to argue that, yeah, but the problem with Sazabi is like it's more like a berserker kind of a unit, right? It's gonna get another 10% if HP is lower, but I do think that's not really much of a problem, to be honest, because basically this guy can work two ways. Either you're gonna work with the full EX, or you can go with the funnel, which gonna use your HP, uh, the reduction to actually do things. But the thing you need to point out, see about Sazabi is it's actually a pretty slow unit. Okay, and that's what makes actually great. Okay, Sazabi is really slow for an attacker. Like 10,000 at this level is, I do think, is pretty slow. If we compare it to this guy's, oh my god, this is also slow. Never mind. A lot of attackers seems like to be very slow. Actually, I just realized that. So yeah, Sazabi is pretty slow, and that actually its main thing. Being relatively slow, gonna be in your PvP, gonna be a very good option, because it can strike counter attack to your opponent pretty well, cleaning up your opponent's team, and that's a great thing about it. So yeah, Sazabi is good. I do think, like, because it's a standard banner, I do think most of people gonna have him. I do hope a lot of you gonna have him, because it's a very good unit regardless. So yeah, the main guy, I do think the main guy is gonna be Sazabi. You can actually go with Striker Gundam, to be honest. But personally, I don't really recommend Striker. Reason is like, Striker's like it is kind of limited on what it can do. Like, yeah, it has this it has the better power output than Sazabi, but you have to remember that it only has 3 range, so it might actually a little bit of problematic. But power wise, it does actually hit harder than Sazabi, especially when you got to this Fire Max. But personally, I'm not really going to use him. But yeah, you can go with him, either Sazabi or him or both, right? It is either way, right? So the next one we're gonna go with any supports that we can go, or any other attacker and stuff, and that's gonna be, yes, Sentinel Gundam, Superior Gundam, or whatever you call it. It's S Gundam. Okay, So S Gundam, the craziest part about S Gundam is like it's hands down the best SSR unit in the game. Currently, like of as of September 2025, like because it does rely on being at full HP, and you know it has increased attack and accuracy, which is great, and then the power of this attack is like 5-4 with Alice. So it's you have to see that its income not really that great in terms of on the paper, but it actually have a very good critical damage, and that's gonna be increasing the power of the attack itself. So 444 is actually not that low, to be honest. It could hit like a pretty high damage, especially if they got the critical. So it does work well if we have a unit pilot that can be using critical, or just simply plain go with someone with ESFS. At this point, I do think that's the best pilot for him is either Amuro Ray or Amuro Ray. Yeah, funnily enough, because we didn't have his pilot yet, the Alice pilot. I forgot who's his name. I don't remember his name, but yeah. So the options together go with the support Amuro or the attacker Amuro, which depends on your condition. You might gonna switch one to the other. Okay. If you don't have Sazabi at higher level, you can actually use S Gundam as a replacement for Sazabi and go with Amuro or the other Amuro. Okay. The support Amuro and attacker Amuro. Okay. So yeah, that's the thing. So in this case, because I am using Char as a main attacker, I do gonna use the S Gundam as a support damage, which is works quite well actually. So the next one we're gonna go with the other support attacker, which is actually Game Mark. Game Mark is not bad, but I do feel like it serves more of a role like a support attacker rather than a full-blown support or full-blown attacker. Okay, it just play around that nice sweet spot actually. And it's actually pretty strong. To be honest, the barrage is pretty strong with 4 range. So the problem with these units only have an 8 range, but in PvP, 8 reach is actually okay because basically the map is pretty small. Okay, so yeah, Game Mark is one of the unit you can actually explore to use. Putting with someone like Kira or anyone with a high awaken or high range, and like Kira or Asuna. Yeah, that's what that. And then again, one shot killer is filled with a lot of attacker and especially attacker, barely any support actually. So if you got to go with this tag, you got to go with a support attacker most of the time, which is basically an attacker being used as a support. You can actually go for Beta Aziero as support. Because this is space, because the current PvP is space, Beta Aziero is good. Okay, it is actually pretty strong if you have it UR, but I do not recommend to actually go with the UR with this one, because its usability is quite low, and the limited resources we have, you're gonna save them up. Okay, the attack is just okay. It actually focuses more on the hyper mega particle cannon, because of the massive range and damage, but the funnel is another option for that, and it's more like a special support. So Beta Zero is a support that is good for one other attacker, which is actually pretty strong, and that's the new Gundam. Okay, new Gundam is best with either Amuro or Amuro. Okay, I'm gonna keep on saying that, man. So the other option is gonna be Charles Noble, because it has a very high awaken stat. Banagir is not really. So yeah, mostly gonna go with Amuro, or maybe like actually if you want to go free to play, the Charlie Bull is actually a good option, because this guy is using awaken stat. You can see here, his awaken damage is Finfang is pretty strong. It has critical and increased power with the farther you are, so which is great, but be careful with PvP because the AI often not go to the highest range, so be careful on that. Okay. Yeah, it does actually lack in some of supports here. The first support you see is the double Zeta Kibble. Again, this is Haman Sama's Kibble. You can actually use it with any character support that have a high range, high awaken start like Shiroko or LPO play. LPO play can actually use this one pretty well. And it does actually need to rely a bit more on Psycho Pressure for damage, but the funnel has a 5 range, which on the opening turn, it does actually work very well for you. Um, Mobility is okay. It does have a eye field, though it's only 20%, still okay. And I do think Kibble is still a viable unit to go with. So let's say we just go with Kibble instead of going with Game Arc, right? Oh, where's Kibble? Yeah. So it's gonna be LPO play. I do think the free one is better to use LPO play. If you want to go with something more fancy, I would say either Asuna or Shiroko gonna be good. Okay. So let's check again. What do we have here? Apparently it's not much. So the only option you want to go for the tank is actually Psycho Gundam. Okay, Psycho Gundam's gonna be pretty okay tank for this team. Pretty good actually, and then you just go with anyone with a 2 block defense. One thing that I want to point out is there's actually new unit. It is the Gundam F90. It just added. I think it's just added to the game. Or maybe I haven't seen it before. F90 is actually a kind of interesting in terms of like it looks so basic, but you can see like 11,000 attack, but during your final max or higher you get another 7%, so it could put it around at least 12,000 something without equip. Okay, and you give it equip, so we get it better. The thing is the AR type, it actually hits quite hard with 5.4, but it's more relying on having a berserker states. Berserker states like the less HP you have, the higher damage you do. So it's an interesting unit, but I don't think it's actually any as good as Geminas and stuff, right? So one thing that I want to point out, I think is here, is that we still have G-Self is there. I mean, but G-Self is not having a very. It doesn't have much. Okay, G-Self. It does have a very high attack actually. Wait, does it count as UC? I forgot. Oh yeah, it does count as UC. I forgot. So G-Self, if you happen to have it, it's actually pretty strong. Base stat wise is good, but again the beam saber and the beam rifle is not that great. It's just okay. So yeah, even though it's like a very high attack, but the weapons is okay, just okay. But you can actually utilize this guy to actually wreak some havoc in the opponent. Okay. So next one is I think that's all from this unit. That warrior is not really that noticeable. I do think so. Let's check. I do know it has a pretty high attack, but I was always like on the edge whether that it's actually that useful or not. Where's him? Here we go. That warrior. Okay. So it does have a almost 13,000 attack, which is very strong attack. But the problem with this is like the bazooka is like only 540. When I say it's like this, the Alice system, I mean the Sentinel Gundam or Superior Gundam, S Gundam, has a critical innate, right? This unit doesn't. So there's a bit of problem here, and also it requires you to have a lower HP, which again a bit of a drawback around here. And the conditions like it's counterintuitive. Okay, that Gundam is counterintuitive for me because the HP condition is had to be high HP, but the weapon condition has to be low HP. So yeah, there's that. I would rather use any other unit there. Blue Destiny unit with exam is actually pretty bonkers. Again, if you manage to actually pull the exam system, it's really strong. You have to get to the. I think you need to have a high morale, right? Oh, no restriction. Yeah, no restriction. Nice. And other weapons are not that great, so you have to go with exam system most of the time. It's pretty much a melee unit at this point because of the range. It does like some both range and melee, but come on, it's basically melee unit. Sorry about that. And it can increase its attack by another 10%. Oh no, it's already there, all of them. 10-15. It has base 25% increase, and mobility is pretty okay for a attacker like this. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty great. Exam unit, you can have if you have it, you can actually go with it. And then finally for the tank, yeah, again this one. So I think you only have one tank option. If you need more than one tank, be sure to actually take it from other units that is actually running their banner, and sorry, having the tags running around in the season 4, which is UC or unstoppable. So you can just borrow them, because I mean it's a tank. Maybe you just want it to be a face tanking things, right? So yeah, that's all I got today for this tag. What is this again? Oh yeah, it's a one shot killer tag. Pretty good. Still freaking good actually. Again, but it's being mostly gonna be carried by Sazabi, or actually as Gundam, but new Gundam being a white horse here and there. So yeah, I do think it's pretty good. Oh yeah, I forgot about one thing. Command Gundam. It only has one block, so it does fly up my mind. Like in PVC settings, I don't really think you would want only one block, considering so many units are out there. But yeah, you can go with this option. Not that bad. If you need second tank for like optimal 3 blocks, yeah, you can actually go with it, right? So yeah, I think I think that's all. That's all for today. Let me know what you think. Again, let me know what you think in the comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And see you next time. Bye bye.